Hi everyone. So welcome to the SQL learning session. So today on day 9 we are going to talk about system functions. So we have so many system functions, but we'll primarily cover string, date, mathematical, and a couple of other functions. So let us move on to the practical session right now. So before going into the query window, look at the left pane, the object explorer. If you go to database, programmability, go to function. If you go to system function, you can see all the system functions in each folder. As aggregate functions, we have already covered the major aggregate function like average, count, and all. But you still have additional system functions available here in under aggregate. You also have datetime function, mathematical function, string function, other function. These are the 4 which we are going to cover today. But since you have access to the SQL, you have all flexibility to go through these functions and write queries and understand what is the purpose of it, how this can be used. Okay, so we'll start with the string functions. I'll open the string functions on the left pane so that there are so many, but I'm only taking very few just for your understanding. So here I have a select statement. I'm using the very first as replace function. So replace a function have 3 parameters as the tooltip shows. The first one is expressions to be searched, search expression, replacement expression. So that means in the word submit, you wanted to replace the word essay with a character A. Let us run this query. You'll see it changed as submit, right? And reverse is as name state. It is reversing the string. So ln is nothing but length. So it will return length of the character. String. And char is something what if you pass the ASCII value, it will return the character. 65 is representing capital letter A. And you also have ASCII so that it works in the other way around. If you provide a string character, it will return the ASCII value of that. And I have a string split function which is interesting. Let me have this query running. This is going to throw an error saying that string is not a recognized built-in function name. But the reason behind the error is not because there is no function exist. The reason behind it is little interesting. So let us go to, this is the string split function. So it exists, right? So but if you go in, right, you can go to parameters, there is an input parameter, there is a separator parameter, and it returns a table, right? The output is a table. But if you take any other function, right, len we ran, right, so len returns an integer. So this is a table valued function. So the other one, the integer, if it is a single value is being written, right, they are called scalar valued, and these are table valued. So when you run as table valued function in query, right, you have to do select, maybe you can write star from the function, and you run the query. So the reason behind this is this always return as table as an output. So what does this function do? You have a string which is comma separated, and if you want them as multiple rows, right, you can use a split string, and you can pass based on what character you wanted to split, it will split and give you multi-line statement. So that since it is giving multi-line, that is why it has to return it as table. So we have many functions, either space, soundx, all these things, but I don't want to go to the complications of all these functions and wasting your time. So what I want all of you to try is go to SQL, go to programmability, functions, system functions, and come in, drag and drop, mouse over here, you will get that summary of what this function is. Drag, write the query, pass the parameters, see how it works. Right? Left, right, and all are a substring functions. Lower is to make it to lowercase, and altrim is to trim the value from left side to remove the blank spaces. Replicate is replicate, like copying the same value multiple number of times and things like that. So we'll move on to the date functions. What's the date function? Yeah, we have date function here. Date function. So there is something called get date. So get date will return current date and time as an output. So you can see 2025 February 4. So this is where I am recording the video right now, 11:20 a.m. 11:20 p.m. So what I'm going to do here, we are going to learn some additional date functions using this same get date. So instead of passing a date, I am using the get date. So this is date add. So like you can add a day, a month, year, time, or anything to an existing date. So the first parameter is like what you are going to add. Are you going to add day, a month, or whatever? So here in this example, I am going to add one day to my current date. So that means the result should be tomorrow. That is February 5th, right? So I can change this to month, and you will see this will be returning March 4th. And you can even give it here, because I want you to see like there are options. It will show 2026 today's date, right? So this parameter plays a role, and you can also change the numbers, whichever the day, like how many year, month, dates you wanted to add. And date name is to return the name of a particular date. Here in today's date, I am giving month, so it gives you February, and you can also pass day. So day is returning 4, because today is Tuesday. There is a numbering method. I don't want to go to the complications. I'll share some article links which help you to understand how this works. So there is a table that from where which day it is starting, and based on that there is a numbering system for days for every week. Okay, so here we have the year function. You have year, day, month functions. So year function would return you which year it is. So here I try to pass a date, because I don't want to use everything with get date to make it complicated. So it is 2010. So whatever the day year you are giving, right? I've only taken, so is date is a date function which will return a true or false, saying that the value which is passed is a date or not. So like that you have different type of functions in date. So next we will go to mathematical function. That is pretty straightforward. We have so many functions, so I'll take only very few common functions which we might be using. So the round function, which will round into the number of decimals you have mentioned as the second parameters. I had like 3 decimals, but it is rounding to 2, 3. And here if you give 6, the number will change to 2, 4. That means it will round to the next number if it is a number is greater than 5. Ceiling is rounding your number to the next number. So this is 2002. So it go to 2003. Either it is like greater than 5, or like after decimal is greater than 5 or not. Ceiling will always round to next number, and floor will always round to lower number. So that means even if it is, this is 99, floor will still return 2002 as a result. I hope this is clear. So these are the major 2-3 functions which we use. Seal, round, floor. You can still explore the mathematical functions coming to this system functions folder. So next we will quickly cover other functions, the last type of functions, and once after covering this other function, I'll quickly take you through how we can apply these functions in our queries, because these are directly I'm passing, right? I just want you guys to know how this can be applied in your select queries. So cast is to convert. We have 2 types, cast and convert. They are similar, but today I'm only talking about cast. You can explore, convert, and comment if you have any questions in the under the YouTube video. So cast is to convert the data type into a particular uh, convert the value into a particular data type. So here I have 134 as int. So this when you do that, okay, you can just get rid of the single quote. This will be a number, right? So you have to think about, you have a value which is loaded as a varchar in your table, and you wanted to use some like addition operations, right? If it is a string, it will only concatenate, it does not add. I'll take you to that example, don't worry. So this is is null. So what is null? Is null will return the next value if the value is null. So here I have given null. So if I give ss, the result will be ss, because this value will only be displayed when the null is in the first column. This scenario, if you take, we have a department ID was null in our previous the employee table, right? We'll take that example. So there, wherever is null, you want it to show as 0. So you can use is null function there. And null function is slightly opposite to is null, where like if the numbers are same, or sorry, not the number, the values in the first parameter and second parameter are same, it will return null. So if it is like so if it is a and 1, it throws an error because you are trying to compare a string and an integer. So either you can compare two strings or two integer, right? I don't want to give another complications. Yeah. So null if it's not returning null because you are passing a and c. But if it is both array, you are going to have null as a return. And is numeric is a function which return true or false. Like I think I was telling you, date is date function, right? It will return true or false based on what is being passed, because 1, even though it's in single quote, it is a numeric value. That's why you got 1. But when we were passing a string value, it was returning 0. So that like in some columns, if you are in some of the columns, if you wanted to see if there is numbers are present or string is present in a numeric column, you can use this function, right? Yeah. So these are the some of we have so many functions here in other functions, and most of these functions are in use mainly like if you wanted to print the error, if there are error, when we learn the transactions error handling, we'll be understanding the purpose of at error. And whatever you see at like two at, they are global parameters. We call them as global parameters. And identity is null. I think we talked about all these things, right? Please explore and comment, and we can also discuss. If you specifically wanted to talk about any functions, we can talk to. So I'll quickly try applying some of these functions in our one of the table. Let us take a select star from dbo dot employee department. Not sure. Okay, employee department is let's take employees. It has wide variety of data. So here you have department ID as null. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write is null function department ID. I wanted to show department. So I'm showing this as an additional column here. Okay. So wherever when department ID comes as null, I wanted to show them as 0. You can see in the first row itself there is a change. Department ID is null, it started coming as 0. So this is where instead of the strings or parameters which we have used, right, wherever the places, you can start using column names. So that is how you apply all these system functions in your select queries, right? So if you wanted to add date add job Yeah, we can add a month of 1 to date. Yeah. So I'm just telling to create a new date column. So that will be added 1 month. So this is November 17, it becomes December 17, right? So you can also apply string functions. So whatever the functions we have learned today, right? Or even additional functions which you are seeing here, you can apply using the same way how we have learned the aggregate function. So that is all for today about functions. Please make use of the system functions folders in the SQL Server to explore additional functions. And if you like this video, please feel free to like, comment, share. And if you have any questions, please feel free to add it in the comment section. We can discuss that in the next video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you.